Hi, how's it going? It's great to be here. I always knew I was going to be a musician. Growing up in Ireland, music has been handed down for generations to the young people. And I remember standing, I couldn't be any more than 3 or 4, standing watching my great uncle Patrick scratching out Danny Boy on a fiddle in this little cottage that my grandfather owned with a thatched roof, what you would imagine what Ireland would be like. And I just thought that's what everyone did. People would come to your house every weekend and play these crazy fiddles and get pissed drunk and sit in front of a fire. And I just thought that's what people did. So at 9 years of age, it just sort of, I remember being in holidays in Donegal with my mum and dad and standing on the edge of the water and the water lapping against the rocks, and I wrote my first song. I couldn't play an instrument, but the song came to my head and I couldn't understand why. The waves of the sea, oh, the waves of the sea. Now, I was 9 years of age, so it wasn't the greatest melody in the world. The waves of the sea. I just sang it round and round. The waves of the sea. For about 3 hours I stood there, couldn't understand why. I was like, felt as if I'd plugged into the universe. And I was just hooked. I knew then I couldn't do anything else. And by the way, that's not the song I wrote for Madonna, and it didn't get Grammy nominated. Yet. And I begged with my mum and dad, please buy me a guitar. And probably one of the first lessons in life I got there and then. My mum said, you want a guitar, you go and work for it. And I did the only thing that a proper Irishman could do. I went and gathered potatoes. And at 15, I formed my first band with my 2 best mates. And we were standing in the bars of Belfast every weekend at 15, 16 years of age. Before I go any further, I want to give you a little brief history of what it was like growing up in Northern Ireland. Thankfully, I was sheltered from a lot of it. I was a country boy. But I remember things happening, bombs going off, people getting killed as a young boy. I remember going to school and the British soldiers searching through my lunchbox and picking through my sandwiches for Semtex, and I just thought, again, that's what people do. So at 15, I'm going into either one weekend with my best mates playing to the UDA, the Ulster Defence Association, who were literally, or the UVF, which basically they believe that Northern Ireland is British, and you know, the Queen is the head of state, and Ireland, the Republic of Ireland is the enemy, and the IRA is the enemy. The IRA were the total opposite. They believed that there should be a united Ireland, and to be honest, growing up I didn't believe in any of that crap. Thankfully I was sheltered from it. I just believed in music. And you know, I remember, you know, standing in a bar one night and seeing a guy getting a beat. I remember standing on stage. This is kind of funny. Look, it's funny, it was crazy, but it was funny. I remember standing there, 200 people dancing to our song, another 200 land. They literally killed the bouncer on the way through. And these guys kicked the living daylights of each other in front of each. That riot bleeds down onto the street. And I can remember standing on stage, looking down on the Newton Arch Road, a main thoroughfare of Belfast, 4 lanes of traffic, and I'm looking out the window, my car's parked there. There's 400 people beating the living daylights of each other. There's riot police on one side of the road closing it off, another line on the other side. And there's guys in their boxer shorts, in their bare feet, in minus temperatures, beating guys with sticks. That was Northern Ireland. All I could think about was, my car's parked there. Because you grew up with it, you just was like, it's another riot. And you're watching the riot police pulling these people and locking them up, taking them away. You know, but you know, all I cared about was music. All I wanted to do was music. It was tough in those bars. It was an amazing grounding. One of the most craziest things I've ever saw in Northern Ireland in a pub, before I move on, was I'm standing on stage like I am now with my band, and it was a mixed band. When I say mixed, there was Protestant and Catholics in there. My 2 best friends were there, but there was 2 Protestant girls. And we're standing there what we think is a football dinner dance. So it's pretty lavish, everyone's in their finery, and they're sitting having a meal, and there's outside caterers brought into this big hall. There's about 300 guests, and we're playing sort of jazzy stuff, and it's all very nicey. All of a sudden, someone grabs the microphone off me, and 15 masked men watching, all in military gear, balaclavas, blacked out boots, guns, Kalashnikovs, Uzis, you name it. They march across the front of the stage, and the guy shouts, "Company, halt." And it was then I realized, as the crowd were chanting UVF, that we were not playing a football dinner dance. I honestly thought there and then we were dead. As what it was is all they were doing was a show of arms, as they say in Northern Ireland. And they read a statement from the loyalist prisoners. What we were doing wasn't playing to a football dinner dance, we were playing to the high command of the UVF, the Ulster Volunteer Force. And, you know, I stood there frozen to that stage, probably 17, not knowing what to do. The guy hands back me the microphone and goes, puts it on the stand and he goes, "Sing you wee shit." And there's silence. My band members look at me and they go, "Just do something." I walk up to the microphone and I do the only thing I can do. Close my eyes. You're simply the best, better than all the rest. I watched as the high command of the UVF danced the night away and got pissed in front of me. Boogie and do the shake and all that sort of stuff. It's amazing what music can do, even those crazy situations in Northern Ireland. You know, one thing music did do was it made me realize that it crossed those barriers. And people, no matter how crazy you think they were, there was always a good side to them. And they just wanted to dance at the end of the day. Now, after 5 years of working dead-end jobs and playing in these pubs, it was just before my 21st birthday, I was kind of disillusioned by music. I was like, this can't be it. I knew what it was like at 9, 12, 15 when I had these dreams of becoming a rock star, and I was standing in these pubs every weekend and working dead-end jobs, and I just literally could not do it anymore. Until a guy on his deathbed changed everything. A guy on his deathbed who I never met. My mum was a nurse. She came home from work one morning. She worked a night shift in intensive care, and she said, "You've got to phone this music college. I was nursing this guy last night. His son has just joined this music college in Belfast." I needed to get in there. I just felt that that was my way out of what I was doing in life. I phoned the head teacher up. I said, "Please, I have no education, but please let me in." And you know what? He said, "I can't let you in." For a solid month after that, honestly, I've never felt more lower in my life. I remember a Thursday morning just sitting there, tears in my eyes, just before I'm going into work, going, "Please, God, this cannot be it. Surely there's more to this." That day, my life changed. I got the call from the head teacher. He said I couldn't believe the passion. I couldn't stop thinking about the passion I showed in the interview. And they created a place for me. So on the Friday, I handed in my notice. On the Monday, I started my new life in that course. And for the first time ever, I was surrounded by like-minded people. And that was my first real lesson in music. I realized I wasn't as good as what I thought I was. Now, a lot of people have asked me in my life, well, how did I get from there to do the wonderful things that I've done? You know, and to be honest, it boils down into 3 or 4 simple things. One, hard work, definitely. I'm the guy who's worked, I've had an overnight success after 20 years of hard graft and hard work. I'm that guy. And I've just learned to take it on the chin when you get knocks and you just get back up again. I think the collaboration side of things is very, very important. If I hadn't have really pushed myself out of the comfort zone of just sitting in my little guitar and writing my own little songs and started collaborating with people, I realized that once I started doing that, things started happening. And that was the road to the Madonna contact. I started collaborating and writing with different people, and before I knew it, Madonna's picked up a couple of my songs. One of them is the title track of her greatest hits. It goes on and gets a Grammy nomination. I borrowed £6,000, it's nearly $10,000, to go to America, and we hustled 2 to 3 weeks. We hustled with all of the music supervisors in LA, and that bore a lot of fruit. You know, I'm just totally blown away. Al Pacino's new movie is called Imagined, and Al Pacino for the first time in his career is singing a song that I wrote in the Blue Mountains of Sydney, which is a dream come true. Thank you. You know, one of the most amazing things that's ever happened to me, and it came out of pure chance at a party one night in Sydney. I, again, paid for my own flights to come and tour Australia, and I met Andrew Farris at a party from INXS. And we just hit it off, we became mates, and before I know it, a year later, I'm standing on stage, you know, singing those wonderful songs that Michael sang, and, you know, rubbing shoulders with guys who I idolized growing up with, you know, it's INXS, and I'm standing there watching 10,000 people, 20,000 people jump as I do that and Need You Tonight. It's just, it is unbelievable. And, you know, I've lived that dream, I've became the rock star, it's just amazing. But I think, I'm going to finish talking now, but I think the most important thing is I never let go of the dream. You know, at 9 years of age I knew, at 12 I knew, at 15 I knew, and only for that month, just before my 21st birthday, that I sort of lost heart. after that, I just knew it was going to happen. And I knew that I could make it happen. So in the spirit of that 9-year-old boy, and you heard a little bit of his music earlier on, I need a couple of volunteers. You don't have to be that talented, you just have to be beautiful like you are. Come with me. I need one guy. Is there any guys? There's one here, look at this guy. Give these guys a round of applause. What I did learn in that course was the importance of collaboration. I'm going to show you why now. This is my new rapper, he's called Spud Murphy. And this lovely lady here is called Lady Leprechaun. And she is my backing singer for today. And we're going to do a slightly different version of The Waves of the Sea. So Lady Leprechaun, please come with me. She's going to sing backing vocals. Follow me. Total pro. Give it up for Spud Murphy. I need some rapping, I think. Follow me. Yo, hey.
Yo, hey. Yo, hey.
Yo,
Yo,
waves of the sea.
hey.
Let's see you clap your hands.
The waves of the sea,
Yo,
the waves of the sea, oh, the waves of the sea,
yo,
it's all about hard work, follow what you know, believe in your dream, 'cause everybody loves a potato. The waves of the sea, yeah, the waves of the sea, waves of the sea.
we're called the Potatoes. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the morning.